Good afternoon. Welcome to the Monday, July 22nd, 2024 public board meeting of the Kingston City Land Bank. My name is Mike. I serve as the moderator for this call. We do ask that members of the public limit their comments to no more than 2 minutes per speaker. And with that, I turn the meeting over to our board chair, Mr. Nate Hannigan.
Great. Hi, welcome everybody. We will start off by going through the roll call. So we'll start in the room to my right.
Joanna Dorman, board member.
Project Starlight, board member.
Ethel Knox, board member.
Nate Hannigan, board member. And going to Zoom.
Barbara Ianides, board member.
That's all we got for now. So go with that. I'll entertain a motion to accept the prior meeting minutes uploaded to YouTube and approve the current meeting agenda.
I can vote.
Perfect. Is there a second?
Second that.
All in favor? Great. Then we'll start off with the board chair announcements. Couple of things for this month. First, he's not on yet, and maybe we'll join later this meeting, maybe not, but I was going to introduce Paul or let him introduce himself, but we'll have to wait till, I guess, September, unfortunately. But he'll join us for the committee meeting, so I'll be talking to him about what committees he wants to join, and so he'll join us for committee meetings. But please all give a nice warm welcome to Paul. We're very excited to have him join us. We do still have one additional vacancy, so I think we've kind of like hit our limit in terms of like our ability to advertise. We'll try again if we have to, but I think the best approach now is word of mouth. So, oh, Paul's stuck on a flight. He won't be joining. Okay, thanks, Barbara. Tell him that we said hello, and I'll be reaching out to him soon. Yeah, I think the best approach is word of mouth. So, ask around your friends, neighbors, family members, community members. If anybody is interested, we'd love to.
What about reaching out to former winners of the lottery?
I mean, if they're interested, we can talk about that. I don't want them to feel pressured, so like,
Right. Yeah,
but
it would be nice.
They might think like, oh, okay, like it's not on the radar, but.
yeah,
As long as they're aware of the opportunity, that's all.
yeah. So anyway, get the word out if you know anyone or think of anyone who might be good. Definitely get the word out. Other exciting updates. Let's see. Oh, we had our sort of kickoff. I think a lot of people were out of town or couldn't make it, but we had a little bit of a kickoff photo op with the mayor to announce the start of construction on our 6 homes. Still TBD named project, but it was great. Came out, we did a little walk through the house. If you guys haven't had a chance to see the houses yet, I know Joanna and I have through the design committee, but definitely recommend doing a walkthrough. If you want to, reach out to Owen or Mike and set that up, because it's cool seeing them now and they're still kind of like all torn apart, and then getting to see them later. It's fun. But yeah, we put it up on social media. The mayor put it out in his newsletter, so that was nice to get a little bit of buzz there. And construction is underway on those properties, so exciting stuff. I'm gonna hold there because I think a lot of the other stuff I was gonna say is probably in your report. So I'm possibly.
Sure.
So I'll hand it off. Or first we have public comments. I don't see any members of the public here. Going once, going twice. So we'll move on to the executive director's report.
Thank you very much. Good evening. Someday someone from the public will show up, and we look forward to having them. I will go through my 5 sort of agenda items that are in my agenda. Our pipeline, it still remains the case that I believe that we have one property that we can still potentially decide to accept the offer to purchase from the city out of our 2018 resolution. That's 55 Rodney Street. Currently, the status of investigation is if funding can be found to clean it up, it might be a potential new construction project for the land bank, but as of late, funding has not been identified. Similarly, the 2023 Resolution 66, I believe, also still allows us the opportunity to respond to the city's offer to purchase 24 Belmont. So same thing, if funding can be found to clean up, it's potential new construction. I'll keep saying this every month. I know it's really boring, but it's 1 month. I swear I'll say something different, but I won't forget about these houses or these properties until they're on. We do have an update this month on the city's process of revising its disposition policy to include the ability for it to acquire properties and offer them to the land bank, potentially under the same framework as its disposition policy for Article 11 properties. So 19A is a new, different way for the city to potentially acquire properties through a code enforcement mechanism, given that they have been certified as vacant and abandoned. So it's a new tool. It did pass the City of Kingston Council Laws and Rules meeting on the 17th of July, and it's slated, I believe, for a council vote, full council vote on the 6th of August. So that would allow us the opportunity to move forward should the city offer something to us under that framework. I will note that many of the back taxes on the 7 properties that it was announced at the Laws and Rules meeting were under the city's consideration would fall over the threshold that the land bank would be able to immediately buy them for $1 and sell them based on affordability. So we might have to compete under a request for proposals, but this is all kind of new territory. We'll also note that we most likely have to wait 2 years until we could do any improvements on the property. So it's good to have, but we wouldn't see anything until 2+ years from now. Similarly, Article 11 has been the state budget offered up some new procedural methods that the city could commence with Article 11 proceedings. These are if you don't pay your taxes. My understanding is the city has not entered into doing any of those proceedings. It does have the opportunity based on the guidance that was issued by John Sid at the Land Bank Association. I distributed an updated version of that in the board package, just in case anyone's interested. It kind of lays out what the law revisions mean and how a municipality could proceed with those. Again, if the city bought them, we would have to wait 2 years before we could do capital improvement. So we're looking at rehabs 2+ years from now. Then, as always, the National Community Stabilization Trust has offered us 0 properties this month as well. So pre-development, I'll keep reporting on that too. I said I would. If anybody wants me to take that off, I'll take it off. But I don't mean to badger the point. It's just maybe something will change. The pre-development, we are down to 4 properties. We're down from 9 last month because we've added Murray and we've removed the 6 rehabs that we just started. So on 3rd Avenue, I will say congratulations to Kyle for submitting our largest ever grant request ever. So big one. Fingers crossed on that. And then Kyle and I were able to elicit support from Senator Gillibrand. So she is writing a support letter after the fact, but we think we can distribute it and it won't hurt. And we have her support. We believe we don't have that letter yet, but her staff did offer to get that letter for us. So kind of, holding pattern on that. And then the plan would be to wait and see where the funding comes in and then move forward maybe with some requests for proposals for some of the larger work that would allow us to move forward on the site. The other 3 properties in the pre-development are soon-to-be vacant lot on Murray, which I'm sure Owen has some updates for at ADC, our currently vacant lot at Teller, and our currently vacant lot at Hanratty. The state of New York is continually coming out with new, exciting ways to expend the money that it has to give to land banks or other affordable housing providers. So they've announced a new revision to a really old program called HOME. I forget what HOME stands for. It's the HOME program. Now this is called the HOME HDP program, the Home Development Program. That's home twice in the name of the program because everybody's just out of acronyms. So the Home HDP would allow construction of 1 to 4 new construction single-family homes, up to $250,000 in subsidy, which is the most ever under a program. So we're exploring that on those 3 infill lots. Potentially early days, but we do have requests for proposals from the state to respond to by September 12th. So ongoing discussion around that. I know we're not meeting next month formally in any of our committees, just wanted to tell everybody about that. Property sales, yet again, for the second time, since the second month in a row since 2021, we have 0 properties for sale. So good, bad, or indifferent, that's where we're at. We do schedule, we have started to schedule planning for the next sales and marketing campaign kickoff, which is probably somewhere in October. The month of October may also be the same month as Thanksgiving, depending on how construction goes, but right now it's looking like October is when we're going to start that. So we're looking at the schedule for everything. Following an exciting new update that may come up with the comms committee about what they talk about this month. Potential new funding opportunities, no change to our plan to apply for more LBI funds once we've expended at least 75% of our current award, $2.9 million. So that means we're still tracking that. That also may take place in a month that Thanksgiving takes place. It may take place later, but we're hopeful this year that we can apply for new funding under that. And then the home HDP program is another use of LBI funds that we could probably backstop if we need additional subsidy on those. The pre-development of a couple of properties, depending on more LBI funds. More to come, I guess, is kind of where we're at with that. But the home HDP is a new.
Sorry, what is HDPC?
Home development program. So it's the home development program. I can't, I'm sorry.
I can't even know.
That's what it's called.
It's like chai tea.
Totally. So last but not least, in my other category, I would just like to reiterate what Nate said. There are no committee or board meetings in August, just so everybody knows. Those are all canceled. They're not on your calendar. Although, of course, we're available anytime to hop on Zoom if you want to check in on something. And our updates. I had a great time at the Land Bank Association annual event that was in Oswego. We came out on Tuesday. We came back on Friday. We were there for a long time. We got to see, there are now 30 land banks as opposed to 28, 29, so another 30 of us. It's a scrum of folks all trying to do different things in different ways, but a lot of information sharing, including some really deep dives into the Land Bank Act itself and what that meant. Some super deep dives into insurance, which I found fascinating as it relates to requiring aviation insurance if somebody operates a drone. Totally, totally. Sorry. I have to get excited about something. But it was a good backstopping of, I think, sort of reassuring ourselves that we're doing things in the way that we're supposed to be doing things. It was held in conjunction with the New York Conference of Mayors, so there was a lot of overlapping sessions with all the small and mid-sized cities, towns, and village mayors. And they're wrestling with a lot of things as well, and they're supportive of the land bank, and the land bank is supportive of them. So it really underscores we're kind of all in it together, trying to work together on this stuff. I would just like to say, I haven't said this in past quarters, but I'd just like to say it publicly that we are in full compliance with our quarterly reporting on the city's disposition policy. This is sent to the comptroller and corporation council and the assessor every quarter in accordance with the agreement and the process that we've laid out, and they've written back and said, great job. So I'll keep trying to remember that. We've always been in compliance with that. Two last things, if I could please plead with you, if you're interested in sending me your headshots. I noticed I'm updating the website based on a couple of things that we learned at the conference. Anybody wants to send me your headshots, Paul and Aaron and the mayor are up, but you all look great to me. So.
Just bring a Polaroid next time.
Totally. I remember they look like mugshot versions. I know. But anyway, so those are my updates. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you, Mike. Moving ahead to the committee reports. So we'll start with ADC. And since Aaron is not here, I think Barbara's filling in for Aaron a bit.
Yeah, so I know that we've got some updates coming from Owen today on construction of the 6 homes, where we stand with that. So I'm gonna turn it over to him first, and then Kyle can give the financing updates.
Okay, yeah, we've got the 6 homes of our rehabs under construction. They all have permits, they're all on contract. Chapel is well underway, and the other ones are getting started. Grant and Hasbrook are not having major construction until the start of the new year, 2025, but the rest will be worked on this year. I'll share my screen and just show you this tracker here. You can see this.
Yep.
Okay, so basically, short version is we just got started with this big project. Here we go, and nothing much happening in change order land, partially because we just got started. And I think I draw your attention to understanding the target completion dates down here, which is 3 houses at the end of January 2025, 1 mid-February, and 2 at the end of July 2025. And not too much else to say about these projects. Questions on this program?
I think, Owen, you mentioned like in our committee, and it's worth noting that our bids came in below, right?
Right, we went into
Not
contract
to exceed, yeah.
at lower values than the board authorized, which is just another way of saying that, yeah, we did what was authorized to do. Yep.
Yeah, which is great news just to share with everybody else that
Totally.
we are on track.
And I'll not to yeah, I think part of why these house values are a little higher than we've encountered before is I think more is captured in the original contract, but we've captured a lot of what's going on with these houses and we're planning for it. So that's the right idea.
Right.
I wanted to clue you in about the Murray Street demolition, which is about to start. We now have permits for the demolition and everybody's lined up. So definitely by the next time you meet, but very shortly, we're going to take that house down, which would be our organization's first whole house demolition.
Oh, and I'm just curious, like the 7-month estimate of building roughly, was that, I can't recall, did the other homes follow roughly that timeline?
Yeah,
Is
that's about right.
Okay.
Yeah.
It feels-
And you don't have a date yet for the demo, Owen?
Tentative date is next week.
Let you know.
Okay.
You said you let me know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you
Because you want
there?
to watch or?
We're gonna watch from a distance
Yeah.
away from the site
Yeah.
as dictated by Owen or anyone else supervising construction. And that was my
And
agreement with
no
Owen.
drones.
No, well.
It's that'll be our fundraiser. You get a rock to throw.
Okay.
Yeah, we're shooting for Monday, but that's the current status as of now. And then we'll have a nice lawn there.
Good.
That's my report.
Thanks.
Great, thank you. And now I'll hand it over to Kyle.
Thank you. I'm gonna share my screen. Cool. Okay. So to bring it back to the HRP program, sorry if this is pretty big. It's a little bit bigger than it will be in future months for reporting, but I just wanted to capture all 5 requisitions we've done to date for this first summer reporting. But yeah, these are the funds we've requisitioned to date for AHRP. What you're seeing here is slightly updated from the board package, just doing some new numbers today, but we've done 5 requisitions so far. We have another one scheduled for this week. That 6th one will include the first requisition for GC funds for the work at Chapel that Owen mentioned. Just to walk through this document, we have 6 individual homes and have the funding sources for each of these homes. And then they aggregate into this total project tracker here. Yeah, the bulk of these funds, they represent pre-development costs so far. just designed to get us ready for this construction work. We've been we're starting now. And we funded everything to date, you'll see, from LBI two. That's just in an effort to draw down on these funds as soon as possible. Still early days on the project, but we're on track. Happy to answer any questions anyone might have. Thanks.
Thank you.
I think you're up again. With finance and audit. I think.
Oh, yeah.
That makes sense.
Okay, so that's it from ABC. Okay, then we go back to finance and audit. Barbara, are you doing this report again?
I am.
Okay, then you're still on deck.
Yeah. So we had our meeting. Just to give you guys the highlights, in June, the LBI 1 requisition 6 was submitted for $50,000 for operations. You know, the Novo grant is expected to be funded in August, and LBI was received July 11th. LBI 2 requisition number 4, funds of $219,833.33 were received. Franklin Street was sold. We acquired 177 Murray Street for $1 plus closing costs, and the asbestos work, was ongoing at 5 of the properties, and Chapel is under construction and has its first payout. Expenses are in line with the budget, and we've closed out the Maida Legacy City 1, so there's no need to have any further reporting going on for that. Then on the audit side, Stacy really ran with the audit and was the point of contact with the auditors, and she helped complete it in such a timely fashion. It's all done. I think they made one recommendation in the audit findings, which is to have a IT policy created. So I know we're already, looking into what that could look like for an organization as small as ours. But we've got some ideas going, and they're gonna, work on what that could look like for the future. So get that, and we won't have that recommendation hopefully for future years with the audit. But thank you very much, Stacy, for all your work on the audit and for leading all the communications and getting that done. We know it's a lot. So really appreciate it. Yeah, and I'll be in touch. I know we talked about possibly shifting our committee meeting times. An email was sent around. Still waiting to hear, if it works for the other committee members, but also I'll be sending around an email just, kind of to outline possibly how to structure those meetings going forward so they're the most productive use of everyone's time.
Can I ask what they meant by IT policy? Is it related to access of the
Send a
website?
management letter to the board, and I don't recall exactly what it says. I think it says you should have an IT policy. I don't think it's specific about what it needs to say, but Stacy, sorry, Stacy, I don't mean to say what I think we both know, but you had received a couple sample copies, and we're thinking about adapting those.
Yes, we asked the auditors for sample policies, and we are adapting because we are such a small organization that they don't fit right. But we're going to make it fit, or we're going to come up with policy that works for us.
Yep.
Yeah, if I may, I think my question was similar to what Bartek was asking too, is IT is pretty broad. We're talking the website isn't getting hacked type policy, or we're talking data, storage of organization documents.
I don't think they were specific in what they're looking for, but the
Okay.
examples they gave us, I think we thought were more of if everybody worked in an office and then all of a sudden they were sent home remotely. So it was like not applicable to like your company laptop and here's how you need to treat your company laptop and things like that. So we had a couple of thoughts that we were thinking about. It's an ongoing discussion, but, and
Does it also have to do with digital communication or just?
I don't know exactly what it needs to say. We were thinking that we would come up with some language around VPN usage, especially when accessing sensitive documents. If you're at, Oswego, using the bar's Wi-Fi, which we did from time to time, just because that was the only Wi-Fi available. Two-factor authentication required. Unlike the only things that a majority of us use are Dropbox and Gmail. So you got to have two-factor authentication. You have to update your passwords a lot. Stacy brought up a great idea for a proprietary software management tool. I think that we're looking at that would make it easier to just have like one method of restricting access or providing access to all of someone's passwords to all of their land bank stuff. So that's more something that I think is good policy. And then that was it. I think we were maybe going to document some of that and just float it around.
Okay,
In September.
cool.
Yeah.
I was just curious.
Yeah, it's kind of a rabbit hole to go down with what an IT policy should look like.
Yeah, sure. Cool. Anything else from finance and audit, or is that?
That would be the treasurer's report.
Cool. Then I'll entertain a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
Motion to accept the treasurer's report.
Is there a second? All in favor? Great, accept it. Next up, the comms committee, Bartek.
Right, so we met to discuss a few things, one of which was potential new staff member to handle communications and and other administrative tasks as well. And everyone on the committee and staff president were generally in agreement that we should proceed. Pending funding availability. And I think the first point of reference, the first kind of point will be once we hear back from Novo on our grant request for next year. We can kind of see whether perhaps we could get started posting a position like this sooner rather than later, because we have funds for this year in the budget for the social media RFP that we never used. And we also have funds in the budget for next year for that same position. So I guess we just need to hear back from Novo.
Just a part-time position?
It would be, the current language in the position doc states that it's there's a kind of a 6-month trial period during which we think it's full-time.
So they would be.
Yeah, it would be a
Yeah.
contractor role, so
Yeah.
it'd be like a flexible work schedule, but they're a contractor, so like it'd be a 6-month contract to sort of get it set up and we'd see how it goes and so it wouldn't really be like a full-time or part-time necessarily, it's kind of like we have benchmarks that the person would be expected to meet and they'd have a
This is on a
6-month.
PR side or a advertising side?
Yeah, we can circulate the
Yeah, that would be great.
the like draft job posting.
Okay.
I'll send that to you.
Yeah, I mean, it covers all aspects of
Yeah.
comms, like, and like the public facing side. And I think, one question we had was whether there would be enough for that individual to cover full time.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, when there's a marketing period, maybe, right, when we're marketing actual homes outside of that, maybe if there's a big project going on.
I'm just curious what you opted for that versus just someone having us as an account. Like a professional person who does social media and just would be us being one of their clients.
Because it's more than just social, it's
Right.
much more than just social.
Right, but like, so you're just again, like someone in a firm or something, and us, them representing us versus. I'm just curious about that.
I mean, it's worth a discussion, but I think
Yeah.
I personally rather see a staff member that like gets really understands the
Yeah.
planning mission. And then just is a part of the team.
I think the idea was that this is shifting away from the like RFP we put out, that, you know, social media would be part of it, but it's like a pretty small part of the job, like they'd be responsible for handling press releases and we have stuff that goes out.
That's what Mike does, they change that.
Some of the stuff that Mike does, he
I think
really.
that'd be great.
I thought I could farm it out to ChatGPT almost a year ago, and it's not that easy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
like
great.
hiring
That's really-
photographers.
And even just like a lot of the website stuff.
Yeah. Some of the website stuff, helping get our fundraising going, planning an event, you know, coordinating with, you know, public relations staffers like at the county office and other newspapers, and, you know, it's sort of like an all-inclusive type of.
And
Marketing
just
and
someone that could help, like, so that his energy is doing other important things.
Generally, I need all the help I can get in all aspects of my life, but like,
Great.
it would be, I feel like we've grown to demonstrate the need for it to be a more dedicated role. So if the funding is there, if that's a piece of the puzzle, like it, we could probably get in front of and anticipate things and like have more events maybe, or plan for more press releases type of thing. Ask questions.
We talked about Gill Street and how we seem to be okay for now with the with the neighborly relations, perhaps. We talked about, okay, so we also discussed our fundraising campaign to make the next 6 homes more affordable. And so we narrowed down our goal, which is that we are just focusing on the Grand Street home, and we're making that more affordable, going from 80% AMI to 70% AMI, and we need to raise $30,000 to do that. And the reason why we chose the Grand Street home is it's 2-bedroom, so it makes the numbers work. We kind of discussed all of the assets that we need for that, and some aspects of outreach that we'll be doing to make that happen. Does anyone else want to add anything on that campaign? We talked about our mixer for the late summer, early fall, and we decided on the first location, which would be also part of this fundraising campaign at camp. Be starting there.
Yep. Camp Kingston.
We talked about the Murray demo, possible drone.
Nothing guaranteed.
Nothing guaranteed. That is everything.
Can I throw one additional thing out there that happened basically during this meeting? So the Daily Freeman ran an article on our first 6 homes. It's on the front of their page, it's on the top of their banner. I got an alert for it, so that was super cool. Really nice. It's a good thing. No negative things.
Thanks, Daily Freeman. You know, they're listening, you read my lyrics.
Yeah, they're like, they're watching it. I've been spooked.
Yeah.
By ours.
Okay, was that it for comms or? Okay, thanks, Bartek. Well, then you're still up for governance.
We are planning an onboarding for Paul, and it looks like he's available the week of August 12th. So at the very least, I will be there, and also Mike, I'll ask you to be.
Of course.
Will be in person.
I'd like to do it in person, yes. That's all I have to report.
Great. So, well, we can talk about it after. 'Cause I think that's like internal. Doesn't have to be an executive session.
Okay, yeah.
All right, we'll talk about it after. Then we'll go on up next to design. So, we had our design committee meeting last month. We have shifted to work deciding that we are gonna take a, sort of closer inspection at our current design handbook to see what updates it needs, how we can expand on it, make it better, make it more useful. So the plan is we'll go through it section by section, a little at a time, and see what updates to find for design handbook 2.0. Were you able to find a Word document version?
I can make one out of the PDF that we have.
I can too, but sometimes it messes with the format, so.
I'll keep digging for it.
Okay, if you can't, I'll just convert it, but
I'll keep
it's
digging.
fine if you can't.
I'll email you tomorrow.
Okay. So TBD on that. Second, photo repository. So, I've talked to you about like sending out a link for it. But if anyone has photos that they want to, like, if you have good photos of some of our houses or events that we did, so that we have them like all in one central location for us to use, or for if we bring this marketing person in to use later, so that like we're sort of keeping them all. Like when we did the ribbon, or not ribbon cutting, the kickoff event with the mayor, I was going around and taking some photos of the house and Abby, so I'm gonna put those up.
Cool.
So we have them, but if anybody has any they want to share, we're gonna get a link out and so that people can upload them.
I think what I'll
And
do,
maybe, oh, go ahead.
I think I've learned a little better on Dropbox. I'll add everyone to that folder that would you like them to be in the same place where the like repository of all the other photos are? I can make a new folder.
Maybe what we do is have one, just like general folder that
Yeah.
people can upload to, and
Okay.
whoever is like managing these folders can then take from that and organize it.
Okay, that makes sense.
Properties.
So I'll send everyone, like, you'll be able to use the folder.
Like, if there's one link for like one folder that's
Everything.
like board uploads or something,
Yeah,
and then
okay.
people can just upload to like one folder.
Rephotos.
I've seen some good photos from Arctic and Ethel. I know you guys
That's
have.
great.
Remember at events? I think you've taken some really good
events.
ones at groundbreaking, or at volunteer events.
And if anyone takes Owen up on seeing the houses, just forget to take some pictures like I forgot to, but
Yeah.
I was very engrossed. So,
And I sort of forgot an update that Owen and I spoke about after the design committee spoke with all of us about, excuse me, after the comms committee spoke about the fundraising campaign. So he'll be taking photos on a monthly basis, sending them to me. I'll put them somewhere for the
Oh,
grand
so we can
street.
see the progress, that's great.
And Grand may not progress. Owen will take them because he's doing
that's great. I
walkthroughs.
was gonna say.
And Grand may not go very fast for a little while because it's the general contractor is working on the other projects, but I'll put those into this shared folder with it. I'll label it and just toss
Could
it.
I make one recommendation?
Yeah, of course.
Owen isn't still on,
He is
otherwise
not.
I would tell him. But when you talk to him, can you tell him to do
One
like,
area.
yeah, like stand in one spot and take a photo in that same spot, like each
Totally.
time, because it makes it really good for like the before and after photos. when we
Yeah.
get to the end.
Will do.
Right.
Okay, cool. So we'll work on that and then, I don't know. This is the perfect kind of job that like will probably end up falling on your plate, but
Yep.
shouldn't be something that you
It's
do.
okay.
Like organizing these photos into like this property, and events and.
Totally fine for now. I'm happy to do it, but appreciate it.
So keep an eye out for that. Okay, then seeing no members of the public still, we'll pass on public comments. Any new business that anybody wants to share? Okay, and I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Seconded, all in favor? Great, thanks, everybody. Have a nice month off in August, and we will see you in September.
Bye, guys. Thank you.